In the quietest moments before dawn, when the world is still and your heart races for no reason at all. Have you ever wondered if our ancestors felt the same? But the real answer is far stranger. You see, our distant relatives did feel fear, but they also had a secret weapon to conquer it, an ancient technique, long forgotten in modern times. Let's journey back millions of years to a time when humans were still hunters and gatherers. We'll meet three remarkable scientists who discovered the secrets of these early human minds, uncovering how they faced their fears and lived to tell the tale. First up, Dr. Robert Provine, an eminent psychologist from the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. He studied the vocalizations of wild baboons in Africa and found something shocking: the sound of fear is universal across species. But how did our ancestors communicate without words? That's where Dr. Michael Tomasolo comes in. A renowned researcher from the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology, he focused on the development of communication among early humans. Finally, let's meet Professor David Friedberg, an art historian from Columbia University. He spent years studying the role of fear and safety in cave paintings across Europe and Africa. These ancient artists left behind a treasure trove of clues about how our ancestors dealt with their fears. So, what did they actually do to master fear? First, let's understand why fear exists in the first place. Fear is an evolutionary response that helps you survive dangerous situations by triggering your fight-or-flight response. But when fear becomes chronic or irrational, it can lead to anxiety and stress, a condition that our ancestors didn't have to worry about. Now imagine you're out hunting for food. You spot a lion in the distance. Your heart races, adrenaline pumps through your veins, and every instinct screams for you to run. But that's not always an option. What do? Our ancestors didn't have the luxury of running away from their fears. Instead, they found ways to manage them. Dr. Provine discovered that primates use a range of vocalizations to communicate fear. He noticed that when baboons are afraid, they make soft, high-pitched sounds, whereas confident and aggressive baboons emit deep, loud growls. But what if you couldn't make those sounds? That's where our early human ancestors came up with a brilliant solution: body language. By creating specific gestures and facial expressions, they could communicate their fear to others without making any noise at all. Now that we have a way of communicating fear, let's think about how these gestures might have evolved into something more powerful: ritual. Dr. Tomasolo found that early humans didn't just communicate through words or sounds. They also used shared attention to convey meaning. This is when two individuals focus on the same object or event together, creating a sense of shared understanding and empathy. This shared attention could have been the foundation for rituals, repeated behaviors designed to manage fear collectively. By performing these rituals together, early humans could create a sense of unity, safety, and comfort in the face of danger. Now that we understand how early humans might have communicated their fears and banded together through ritual, let's explore how cave paintings play a role in this story. Professor Friedberg studied thousands of cave paintings from across Europe and Africa and found that many of them depicted scenes of danger: lions, hyenas, and other fearsome creatures. But these images weren't just there to scare us. They were also designed to help us confront our fears head-on. By painting the animals we feared most, our ancestors could visualize their threats and face them directly. This process, known as cognitive behavioral therapy, is still used today to help people overcome phobias and anxiety disorders. So what can we learn from these ancient secrets? First, recognize that fear is a universal experience, shared by all living things. By acknowledging your fears, you take the first step towards understanding them. Second, find ways to communicate your fears to others through words, gestures, or even art. Sharing your fears can help create a sense of empathy and unity with those around you. Finally, don't shy away from confronting your fears head-on. By facing them directly, you can gain control over them and find new ways to manage the fear that still haunts us today. And remember, in the quiet moments before dawn, when your heart races for no reason at all, you are not alone. Our ancestors faced their fears just as we do now, and they found ways to conquer them with ancient secrets lost to time, but waiting to be rediscovered by you. In the grand tapestry of human existence, fear has been a constant companion, woven intricately into the fabric of our lives. It's a thread that stretches across millennia, binding us to our ancestors who faced their fears in the dark caves and vast wildernesses. Fear, in its most primal form, was a life-saving mechanism. It alerted our forebears to danger, helping them avoid predators and survive in harsh environments. But as we evolved, so did our fears. They transformed from physical threats to more abstract ones: the fear of rejection, of failure, of change, of the unknown. Yet, despite its transformative nature, fear remains a fundamental part of our being. It's a testament to our vulnerability, reminding us that we are not invincible. But it's also a testament to our resilience, a testament to our capacity to adapt and overcome. Our ancestors faced their fears with courage and determination. They hunted the mammoth, they built the pyramids, they crossed vast oceans in search of new lands. And in doing so, they pushed back the boundaries of what was thought possible. In ancient Greece, Aesop told tales of the tortoise and the hare, reminding us that slow and steady can win the race. In ancient Egypt, the Sphinx stood as a symbol of strength and wisdom, a testament to their ability to confront their fears head-on. And in ancient Rome, Virgil wrote of Aeneas, a man who fled his homeland only to return and reclaim it. These stories are not just tales from the past. They are lessons for us today. They remind us that fear is not an insurmountable obstacle, but a challenge to be faced and overcome. So, when you find yourself staring into the abyss of your fears, remember these ancient stories. Remember Aesop's tortoise, the Sphinx, and Virgil's Aeneas. Remember that they faced their fears and found a way to conquer them. And remember that you too can do the same. But how does one confront their fears? It begins with understanding. Understanding that fear is not a weakness but a normal response to uncertainty. Understanding that fear is a tool, a compass pointing towards what we value most: our safety, our loved ones, our dreams. Once you understand your fears, you can begin to communicate them. Share your fears with others, forge connections, create empathy. Remember that sharing your fears does not make you weak. It makes you human. It reminds those around you that they are not alone in their struggles. And when you confront your fears, remember that failure is not the end but a stepping stone towards success. It's a chance to learn, to grow, to become stronger. Remember that every great achievement was preceded by countless failures. Remember that the Wright brothers did not invent the airplane on their first try, but they didn't give up either. So, face your fears with courage and determination. Embrace them as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles in your path. And remember, in the quiet moments before dawn when your heart races for no reason at all, you are not alone. Our ancestors faced their fears just as we do now, and they found ways to conquer them with ancient secrets lost to time, but waiting to be rediscovered by you. In conclusion, fear is a universal experience that has been woven into the fabric of our lives since the dawn of humanity. But it's not an insurmountable obstacle. It's a challenge to be faced and overcome. By understanding your fears, communicating them, and confronting them head-on, you can find new ways to manage the fear that still haunts us today. Remember Aesop's tortoise, the Sphinx, and Virgil's Aeneas. Remember that they faced their fears and found a way to conquer them. And remember that you too can do the same. For in the words of Theodore Roosevelt, far better it is to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to rank with those poor souls who neither enjoy much nor suffer much, because they live in the gray twilight that knows not victory nor defeat. So, dare to face your fears, dare to conquer them, and remember you are never alone in your journey. The ancient secrets of our ancestors are waiting to be rediscovered by you. Embracing the wisdom of these timeless tales and the courageous sentiments of Roosevelt, we embark on an odyssey into the heart of our fears, seeking not only their conquest, but also the enlightenment they offer. For it is in the darkest corners that we find the most profound understanding, and it is through the fires of adversity that we forge our greatest strength. Consider the ancient Greek hero Hercules, who was tasked with slaying the fearsome Nemean lion. Armed with little more than his wits and a heart full of determination, he ventured into the lion's lair, confronted the beast, and emerged victorious. In doing so, he not only saved Thebes from destruction, but also demonstrated that even the most daunting fears can be vanquished when faced head-on with courage and fortitude. Likewise, let us draw inspiration from the indomitable spirit of Beowulf, who battled monstrous creatures like Grendel and the dragon to protect his people. Despite his own fear and exhaustion, he persevered, ultimately laying low the very threats that threatened their existence. In doing so, he became a hero, not just for his strength, but also for his unwavering resolve in the face of adversity. These tales serve as reminders that we too can conquer our fears when we choose to embrace them rather than running from them. For it is only by acknowledging and confronting our fears that we can gain mastery over them, transforming our greatest vulnerabilities into sources of strength and wisdom. So, As you embark on your own journey through the labyrinth of fear, remember the lessons of Aesop's tortoise, the Sphinx, Virgil's Aeneas, Hercules, Beowulf, and countless others who dared to face their fears and emerge triumphant. Embrace their courage, embody their determination, and let their stories guide you on your path to conquering your own fears. For in the words of Seneca, we should be completely free of fear, for fear is the main cause of suffering. So, dare to be fearless, and in doing so, you will find a world of possibilities opening up before you.